Election Intergovernmental Committee of the City Council of Los Angeles. It's the third day of December 2014. We're in the John Farrell Chambers, and Madam Clerk, we're going to hold on 1 and 2. Let's go to 3.
Certainly. Item number 3 is a city attorney report and an ordinance relative to calling and ordering a primary nominating election on March 3, 2015, and a general municipal election on May 19, 2015, for the City of Los Angeles, the LAUSD, and the LA Community College District.
Great. Do I have any cards?
I believe so. The sergeant is bringing them to you right now.
Could I have a brief report?
Thank you, Councilmember Harith Trivedi from the City Attorney's Office. This is the standard ordinance. It just calls the election formally. That's going to take place next March and May. It's the same as we do every 2 years.
And you've met with the officials of the LA Unified.
That's correct.
I think I have one card. Mr. Herman, it's a 1-minute public comment, please. Sergeant, would you please inform the guest after he speaks not to jump, because I don't want anybody to get hurt in chambers. Mr. Herman.
So all of you have heard that the Los Angeles Unified School District and its consolidated elections for this office is a reminder that scandal, corruption through LAUSD continues to be the main problem between conflict of interest when the City of Los Angeles.
Excuse me, it's on the date of the event.
Election.
Please speak to the issue.
When the elections do not coincide together to have transparency. This report and the ordinance relative to calling the ordinance of the primary nominating elections, I find it bogus. I ask and petition this council.
I'll do these 3.
Now that we have a quorum with Mr. Herb Weston here, to understand that the report does not reflect honesty and reflect interests of the public. Again, my motion is to object, and John Daisy, goodbye.
All right, there's no other cards. Mr. Chair, Mr. Weston, thank you. Okay, good, good. You've been briefed. I support this. You support this?
Yes.
2 ayes. Matter passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item.
Do you wish to go to item number 4?
Yes.
And that is a City Ethics Commission report relative to proposed recommendations for amending the campaign finance ordinance to improve the laws regarding office holder and legal defense committees.
And is staff here? And you've been briefed, Mr. Weston, on this, on 4?
I work very closely with the department. This is a recommendation from the commission itself, and my recommendation is that we adopt this Ethics Commission report as amended.
Thank you very much. I have one card. Mr. Herman.
City Ethics Report, proposed recommendations for amending finance ordinance not to improve or to improve the laws regarding office holder and legal defense committees. And if we have to pay legal defense, why are we asking for outside counsel for legal defense when we have the office of our honorary city attorney, Mr. Mike Fuhr, to defend us on the illegal actions when it comes to outside assistance? Now, we cannot deal with defending the City of Los Angeles from reprisal. I see that Mr. O'Connell's not happy with this, but again, if you
All right, he's
cannot...
not happy with it. I'm not happy with it either. Thank you very much, Mr. Herman. Your comments have been completed. Thank you very much. Okay, no other cards at this time. Mr. Weston moves. I second. Item number 4 approved. Next item.
As amended.
Absolutely.
And item number 5 is a resolution and a CLA report relative to establishing support for legislation that would strengthen the enforcement of laws regulating unsafe excavation practices.
Thank you very much. Do we have staff on this at all? I think it's very important that Mr. Wickham just say a brief on this here? Darrell, good morning.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. This is a California one-call law requiring any person planning to conduct an excavation to contact the dig alert 2 working days prior to a street cut in order to reduce the potential for damages and injuries during street.
And this was a suggestion by Mr. Englander, who's always up to date on these issues, so this would be something very strong for us, Mr. Wesson.
Yes.
We want to support this, so I thank you. I have one card.
We recommend that you adopt the revised resolution attached to the report. We will seek or support sponsorship in the 2015-2016, the
Very
new
good.
biennial legislative year that just started.
Thank you very
support
much.
that.
Very good. Support that. Thank you. Thank you, Darrell. Thank you, John. Mr. Herman?
Citizens of Los Angeles, how can this enforcement of laws regulating unsafe practices not hold up to its agreement? Due to inadequate services and inadequate provisions to provide safe practices for excavation, already the fracking is a problem, let alone we don't have the enforcement, ordinances, municipal codes to reflect and protect all you citizens regulating unsafe digging in the city of Los Angeles. I hold Mr. Englander and Mr. Busquiano responsible for any damages to occur to any businesses and residents due to their action of the 2014-2015 state legislative program of support.
Okay, seeing none, we vote on this issue. We support that issue, as you said.
And that is to approve the revised resolution.
Correct, as stated so cleanly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, let's take 1 and 2 together. Is that correct?
Yes, that is. Those are the remaining items.
Super.
And items 1 and 2 is relative to the designation of persons or organizations to write arguments for and against the 2 city ballot measures that will be placed on the March 3rd, 2015 primary nominated election. Item number 1 is the ballot measure relative to new city election dates and schedules and a one-time adjustment to align terms with new election dates by 2020. That will be Charter Amendment 1. And item number 2 is the ballot measure relative to new election dates and schedules for the LAUSD and a one-time adjustment to align terms with new election dates by 2020, Charter Amendment 2.
Very good. Mr. Wesson, we will have some staff here from the clerk's office. State your name, please, for the record.
Good morning, Greg Allison, Executive Officer with the Office of the City Clerk. Per Section 605C of the City Election Code, you as the President of the City Council, with the approval of this committee, may designate a person or persons to write arguments or rebuttals in favor of or against the adoption of measures to be placed on the March 3rd, 2015 primary nominee election. On November 17th, 2014, a letter from Council President Wesson was issued to all interested parties requesting individuals to submit a request if they wish to be considered for writing arguments related to the measures. So the following requests were received. For Charter Amendment 1, the new city election dates and schedules, arguments in favor, Cathay Feng and Fernando J. Guerra, and arguments against, Council Member Bernard C. Parks, Council District 8. For Charter Amendment 2, new LAUSD election dates and schedules, arguments in favor, Cathay Feng, Fernando J. Guerra, and arguments against, Council Member Bernard C. Parks, Council District 8.
Very good. So the process has been set. I have no objection. Do you have any objection to that? No objection. Let's, without objection on item 1 and 2, we will appoint Councilmember Parks as the opposition author, as well as Cathay Fang and Fernando Guerrera as the proponent author. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
That is correct. Thank you.
No, we both vote for that, so we thank you.
Thank you. And the City Clerk's office will send out notifications to those individuals today.
Thank you. I have no further cards. I have no other items.
He has no cards?
Madam Clerk?
No disruption. We have no card.
No other cards. There's no public comment in this special committee. Madam Clerk, wrap it up.
Any other cards? I don't know.
5 for public comment and 3. No other cards. So,
Just,
yes.
just to make the record clear, both Sergeant-at-Arms have stated that Mr. Herman did not turn in cards for 1 or 2.
Got it. Thank you very much. So, all right, thank you. This meeting is now adjourned. We thank you, Madam Clerk, and we thank our sound man, and we thank all staff as well, including Avak.
Especially of